Hi, Summer. Just some ideas that I wanted to share with you. So, when I was maybe 19 or so, I came up with this philosophy of life. It was a combination of a bunch of different things, but I called it a warrior philosophy. And I can elaborate on that a little bit in a moment, but before I do that, I kind of want to set the stage with what drove me to do that. We only live one life as far as we know, and if you really think about it, it's pretty amazing that we're here at all and that we're conscious. Consciousness is pretty amazing. And when you let that sink in, often, for most people, a drive tends to surface to really live life to the fullest. Because this is our one life and we want to really take advantage of that. We don't want to waste it. I think there's a knowledge that when you're older, people generally look back on life, and if they feel like they really lived fully, that there's a peace, a contentment that can come with that. And I think most people are after that or pursue that in their lives. So for me, to really live life fully, I feel like there's certain levels of consciousness, there's certain levels of awareness that you want to achieve in order to do that. I think it's generally accepted, I think most people would agree, that if you don't achieve a higher level of awareness of the world that we live in, and some deeper sense of meaning and purpose, that will mean that you'll sort of lose out on living life to the fullest. That part of living life to the fullest comes with a deeper understanding of what it really means to be human, and with some higher awareness or enlightenment of some kind. My way of achieving that, what I came up with through my own exploration and thinking, was to seek out these profound experiences, in a lot of different ways, almost sort of pursuing extremes in different areas of life and different types of experiences. And one thing I came up with was, I would think you'd have to be able to achieve some kind of higher awareness from having a deeper understanding of what it really means to fight for something, and to really understand what you would fight for, to understand what you would make sacrifices for. And I think if you can really understand that deeply, that I felt like that would give you some kind of higher awareness, the kind of higher awareness I think a person really needs in order to live life to the fullest. So my warrior philosophy was kind of based on the idea that I should know what I would kill for. I should know and understand what I would be willing to kill for. That seemed to be one extreme end of a spectrum. And that I should also be familiar and understand deeply what I would die for. And that encompasses a broad range of human experience, of human understanding, so much so that I feel a contentment that I can live life to the fullest once I've really achieved that kind of understanding. So that is part of where my warrior philosophy came from. Also, I see a lot of value and meaning in contributing to your community, and I feel like one way to do that is to really fight for things that matter. And to me, that means being a warrior, to fight for things that really matter, and that matter for your community, and for the greater good. And that can be a hard term to pin down. That can be a hard thing to define, the greater good, because there's a lot of problems with trying to define that. But generally speaking, what's good for humanity, what's good for life, I think you can say there are certain things that are good for all life, things that are good for all of humanity. And at least starting with that is at least a good place to start. for some kind of general idea of what is good and what a greater good would be. And you can debate a lot within all of that. But for me, I think you can really tune into the kinds of things that are good for our community, good for all people and all living things, and then really fight for those things, really contribute in some way in relation to those areas of existence or issues, if you will. And an example of that would be protecting the environment. An example of that would be protecting the peace, protecting the innocent, stopping bullies, stopping abusers, stopping ferocious beings, really, from hurting and destroying others. And even that is tricky because we exist in a wild kingdom. There is a circle of life here that is inescapable from animals' existence. And that includes very much predator and prey relationships. Predator and prey relationships are very normal throughout all types of life on this planet. And you cannot really separate that from what is natural, at least in our wild kingdom here on Earth. So my point is, where do you draw the line with a ferocious creature? You know, how is a lion not that ferocious creature to a family of elephants? A lion who is trying to steal a baby elephant. That is, for lack of better words, a monster to that family of elephants. But that lion is going to feed his cubs. And to those cubs, that lion is a hero. So, it's tricky, as is much of life and much of human understanding. But overall, I feel content knowing that I've really thought hard about the kinds of things that I would fight for, that I've really thought hard and searched my heart and my soul, if you will, to understand what I would sacrifice for. And that gives me a peace of mind, or it gives me a confidence that I am really living life to the fullest. That while we only have a brief time here on this earth, and it is one life, that to have that kind of understanding means that you're likely to make the best of what we have here. So I love you.